Dear viewers, I welcome you all in today's session. Today, I will discuss the topographical maps. The following four are the objectives of my today's lecture. These objectives are to define a topographical map, describes various types of topographical maps, discuss basic importance of conventional signs and symbols of topographical maps, and to describe various natural and man-made features shown in a topographical map. Before starting with a topographical map, let us first know what a map is. A map is the two-dimensional graphical representation of all or part of the Earth's surface and its features on a plane surface drawn to a specific scale. A map scale is the relationship between distance on a map and distance on the ground. Thus, scale helps us to reduce whole or a portion of the Earth to a size which is convenient to present on a plane surface or a paper. In a simple map, there are two dimensions. These two dimensions are the length and width. A topographical map may be defined as a two-dimensional representation of three-dimensional surface of the Earth. So the three dimensions of topographical maps are length, width, and elevation in XY coordinate of a geospatial feature. In terms of X, Y, Z coordinates of a geospatial feature, horizontal x-axis represents its width, horizontal y-axis shows its length, and vertical z-axis is used to show its elevation. Earth's surface relief features such as mountains, plateaux, plains, valleys, oceans, and various types of slope are represented in a topographical map by elevation. The topographical map are also known as topo sheets or topo maps. What the term topographical map is more appropriate as far as the use of topographical maps are concerned. The contour are imaginary lines joining all points of equal height above mean sea level. Thus, contours help us to show the configuration of the Earth. If we are showing the configuration of the Earth above mean sea level, then we use the term topography, which refers relief on land surface above mean sea level. If we are showing the configuration of Earth below mean sea level, then we use the term bathymetry, which refers relief of ocean basin below the surface of the ocean. Survey of India is preparing 4 types of topographical maps with different scale for India. The number 1 is million map. The million map, it has scale 1 ratio 1 million, and it has 4 degree into 4 degree latitudinal and longitudinal extent. The contour interval in million map can be given according to the topography of the area. The next type of the map is degree map. The degree map has scale 1 ratio 2,50,000 and 1 degree into 1 degree latitudinal and longitudinal coverage. The control interval in degree map is 100 meter. So degree map, here it is an example of degree map. The degree map is useful for journal planning. The third one type is the quarter degree map. It has scale 1 ratio 50,000 and the coverage of area 15 minute into 15 minute latitudinal and longitudinal. 20 meter contoured interval is present in quarter degree map. So the quarter degree map are general purpose maps and are used by the administrators, planners, and engineers. The last type of the map is topographical map. They have 7 minute and 30 second into 7 minute 30 second latitudinal and longitudinal coverage. So these maps provide detailed information of the area, and therefore they are useful for town planning and development purposes. The million map has scale 1:1,million. Yeah. Then degree map has scale 1:250,000. Then quarter degree map has scale 1:50,000. And the last one, the topographical map, has scale 1:25,000. So Survey of India has given a numbering system for all types of maps so that we can identify the map which we are looking. So here, this is numbering system for million map. This is numbering system for degree map. And this is numbering system for quarter degree map. And here, this is the numbering system for topographic map with the scale 1:25,000. So the topographical maps provide a detailed picture of an area and shows all natural and man-made features. It is not possible to write all the observed details on a map. In order to overcome this limitation, a standard system of symbols, convention signs, letters, and colors are used to show topographical map feature. Prior to studying a topographical map, it is important for us that we should get familiar with the conventional signs, legend, marginal information, and other aspects of the topographical maps. So first, let us study the features represented by conventional colors in a topographical map. You can see a table here. The yellow color in a topographical map is used to show the area shown. The blue color is used to show the water bodies such as lakes, reservoir, rivers. And black color is used to show the railway lines, power lines, or boundaries. Red color is used to show the roads, human settlement. Green color is used to show the vegetation. And brown color is used to show the topographic contours. The top and bottom of a topographical map contains many information, and such informations are known as marginal information. So from the top of a topographical map, we will get various information such as the name of district, the area of surveyed, the name of state, topographic sheet number, representative fraction, and similarly, from the bottom of a topographical map, we get the information about the legend of a map, then representative fraction, that is RF, topographic number, and addition of map, index to sheet, graphical scale, control interval, name of preparing and publishing agency, administrative block. So these type of information we can get from the bottom of a topographical map. So similarly, the other information such as latitude and longitude, we can get the borders of the map. So here you can see the legend, which is consisting of different conventional signs and colors, which are used by the Survey of India to represent various physical and cultural features in a topographical map. The understanding of these symbols and signs is very important for us to identify the different features in a topographical map. As we know that topographical maps represent the physical and man-made features of small area on a large scale. The following features present in a topographical map. The physical features include relief, vegetation, and drainage. Cultural or man-made features are land use, means of transport and communication, and pattern of settlement, which are present in a topographical map. Dear learners, as we know that the surface of the earth is not uniform and it is made up of several physical or relief features like mountains, hills, plateau, plains, river, or lakes. Relief features on a topographical map are represented by contours and spot heights. So therefore, the spacing or arrangement of contours on a topographical map is used to determine the relief feature. For example, if there is either no contour or one or two contour lines crossing the map, this arrangement indicates a plain area, whereas a mountainous area is marked by the several contour lines. So it is essential to have a sound knowledge of contour arrangement so that we can accurately identify, locate, and describe various features of a topographical map. So let us study the contour arrangements for different types of slope. In gentle slope, the contours are widely spaced, whereas in case of steep slope, the contour lines are closely spaced. Look at this figure. Here, the contours are closely spaced, and when preparing a topographical profile along A and B line, here you see clearly this steep slope. On the left side of this figure, the contours are widely spaced. And after preparing its topographical section, you can see the gentle slope here. So similarly, in a uniform slope, the contour lines are evenly spaced. What? In irregular slope, the contour lines are unevenly spaced. In convex slope, the contour lines are closely spaced near the bottom of slope than the top. See this picture. Here, the contour are closely spaced, and here this is the top of slope and contours are widely spaced. This type of arrangement indicates a convex slope. On the other hand, the concave slope, the contour lines are closely spaced near the tops of the slopes, then near the bottom. Here, this is the top of the slope. Here, why it is a top? Because the contour value is 800 here, and here at the bottom you can see the contours are widely spaced. This type of the arrangement indicate concave slope. So let us study the contour arrangement for different types of landform. In this figure, you can find ridges, depression, and spot height. A ridge is represented through elliptical arrangement of contour, and the contour values decrease outward. Here is depression, and depression is low-lying area and is represented by closed hachured contour lines. Hachures are small vertical marks or line inside the contour pointing towards the region of lower elevation. Spot height are shown by a number on topographical map. Here spot height is marked by the X and it has a value 270 meter above the mean sea level. The spot height is marked by a specific feature such as surveyor, station, mountain top, hilltop, road crossing, or lake surface. So in conical hill, the conical hill can be identified with the help of a topographical map. It shows concentric contours which are spaced at a regular interval. Contour lines form a closure near the upper part of hills. The left side figure in your screen is showing the conical hill. Whereas in plateau, the contour lines are closely spaced at the margin, and innermost contour line shows wide gap between its two sides, as shown in the right side figure. We can also identify different types of the valleys in a topographical map. For example, U-shaped valley is represented by U-shaped contours, where innermost contour line is characterized by having a lowest value and a wide gap between its two sides. The contour value increase uniformly outwards. See the left side figure. Whereas V-shaped valley is represented by V-shaped contours, where innermost contour lines is characterized by having a lowest value and very small gap between its two sides. The contour values increase uniformly outward. See the central figure in your screen. The gauge is represented by closely spaced contour lines with innermost contour showing a small gap between its two sides. See the right figure. In waterfall, the contour lines merge into one another while crossing a river. Please see the left figure. A cliff is represented by contour lines running much closer to each other and merging with one another. See the right side figure. So let's try to identify some physical feature. The upper part of this figure is showing a contour map. So let us try to construct a topographical section of this map along the profile A to B. The figure below is showing a constructed topographic profile along AB. The horizontal axis contains the values of the contour, and the vertical axis showing the elevation above mean sea level. So after plotting the values of contours along both horizontal and vertical axis, we get this topographical profile. From this topographical profile, you can see that the closely spaced contour, which is present near the point B, shows a steep slope. And similarly, the plateau, the flat area which represents a plateau, is marked by innermost contour line having a wide gap between its two sides in the contour map. So similarly, based on our understanding of the contour arrangement, we can identify the other features such as valley and gentle slope. This is another contour map, and here we will try to identify more relief features marked by feature 1 and feature 2 and letters A to M. Based on our understanding of contour lines arrangements, we can identify the following features. Area marked by A and feature 1 both show a plateau region because contour lines are closely spaced at the margins, and innermost contour line show a wide gap between its two sides. Feature 2 is a small hill because it has closed contours at top with spot height, that is 382 meter. So these features are indicating that this is a hill. If we see the upper side of the hill, that you can see that the contours are widely spaced and indicating that there is a gentle slope. On the other side, the lower side of this hill, so here you can see that the contours are closely spaced and they are indicating a steep slope. Now see the point B to C. Here you can see that contours are very close to each other, and after preparing its cross section by plotting the value of the contours along the horizontal axis and vertical axis, so we are getting a kind of line there that is indicating a very steep line. In the profile along B to C, there is a cliff. Similarly, the point D and E here, after plotting their value along the x-axis and y-axis, we can see that there is a slope that is uniform slope, because here the contours are regularly spaced and indicating a uniform slope. Now comes on the point F to G here and L to M. So there are convex slope. How we identify that they are convex slope? Because the contour lines are closely spaced near the bottom of the slope than the top. The point J to K is showing the concave slope. Here the contours are widely spaced at the bottom and closely spaced at the top. So the bottom and top of any area can be determined with the help of the contour values. At the mean sea level, the contour value is 0, and as we go above the mean sea level, the contour value increase. So here, for example, the 300 is the lowest value, and there is a spot height indicating the value 382 is the highest value. So with the help of contour maps, we can also calculate the slope between any 2 points by using this formula. This slope in percentage can be calculated by the change in the elevation, that is vertical rise, divided by the horizontal distance, that is run, and multiply by 100. Slope in degree can be calculated by using the formula change in elevation or vertical rise divided by horizontal distance, or run, multiply by tan inverse. Slope in a ratio, that is meter per kilometer, can be calculated by using this formula, the change in elevation, that is vertical rise, divided by horizontal distance, that is run, and multiply by 1000. So here you can see a contour map, and we want to calculate slope between the point A and point B. So below is the triangle showing the horizontal distance and the change in the elevation or vertical difference. We want to calculate the change in the elevation or the vertical difference or rise. The vertical difference or rise between point A and B is equal to B minus A, because at B the contour value is 150 meters, and point A, the contour value is 40 meters. So after subtracting 150 minus 40, you will get 110 meters. So 110 meters is our vertical rise. Now we have to calculate the horizontal distance, that is run. So here at the bottom of contour map, you can see there is a scale in kilometer. So this distance, that is 0 to 1, is 1 kilometer. With the help of this scale, we can measure the distance between A point and B point. So with the help of this horizontal scale, we measured the distance between an A and B is 0.64 kilometer. So now we have the value of rise, that is 110 meter, and the value of run, that is 0.64 kilometer. So with the help of this value, we can calculate the slope. So the slope in percentage can be calculated rise divided by run multiplied by 100. So now we know that the rise is 110 meter and run is 0.64 kilometer, then multiply by 100. So first step is to convert the kilometer into meter. So this is equal to 110 meter divided by 0.64 multiplied by 1000 meter, because 1 kilometer is equal to 1000 meter, and then multiply by 100. After simplifying this equation, we will get the value of 17.18%. So this is our slope between point A and B in percentage. Now, if we want to calculate the slope in degree, then rise divided by run multiplied by 10 tan inverse. So we know that rise divided by run, its value is 0.1718. So now multiply 0.1718 into tan inverse. We will get tan inverse into 0.1718. So the tan inverse value of 0.1718 is equal to 9.74. So this gives us the value of slope in degrees. So similarly, this slope in a ratio can be calculated with the help of the formula given here. The rise divided by run multiplied by 1000. So we know that the value of rise and run, that it is 0.1718, and when we multiply this with 1000, so we get the ratio of slope, that is 171.8 meter per kilometer. So this is all about how we can calculate the slope with the help of the contour map. So other physical features that are present in a topographical maps are vegetation and drainage system. So vegetation in a topographical map can be represented by the green color, and vegetation may be protected or reserved. With the help of conventional signs and colors, we can identify different type of the vegetation in a topographical map. So drainage system of an area is dependent on the slope, nature, and attitude of a topography. So this relation is clearly visible in a topographical map. So with the help of our understanding of topographical map, we can identify different type of drainage pattern with the help of topographical maps. The different types of drainage patterns are dendritic drainage pattern, drills, parallel, radial, angular, and rectangular. So this type of drainage patterns also indicate the geology of the area. So as I already informed you that the topographical map shows the physical feature as well as the man-made feature. The man-made features are also known as the cultural features. So there are three types of the cultural features. Number one is land use. Number two is means of transport and communication. And last one is the settlement. So in land use, there are different types of features like natural vegetation and forest. So it may be reserved, protected, dense, or open. It may be cultivable land, waste land, industrial, and other uses of the land. Similarly, the various type of the facility and services such as school, colleges, parks, hospitals, airports, canals, well, reservoir, tanks, they are present in our topographical maps. The general occupation of the pupil, that is agricultural, forestry, and fishing, these type of information we can also get from the topographical maps. Then the different types of means of transport and communication, such as railway lines, their type, roads, their types, whether they are metalled road or unmetalled road, then minerals line, trans-base, row-base, telegraph lines, electrical lines, footpath, water base, and post office. So these types of information we can also extract from the topographical map. Then different type of the settlement, whether it is urban or rural, and their patterns, that is compact, scattered, circular, and linear, we can also infer from a topographical map. So there are some steps that we should follow while interpreting a topographical map. The first step is marginal information. From the marginal information, we can get various types of information. For example, the area to which a topographical map belongs, and the year in which the area was mapped, the name of the publishing agency, then the position of the latitude and longitudes. So these type of information we can get from the marginal information. So this is our first step at the time of interpretation, is to study the marginal information of the topographical map. Then we will start gathering the information about the physical feature. First, we should try to identify the relief features, that is different types of the slopes and different types of the other features like mountains, valleys, plains, plateau, and then the next step, the identification of drainage pattern, then vegetation. So after interpreting the physical features, then we start the interpretation of the cultural information or cultural features. So first is try to identify the land use, and then the means of transport and communication, and at the last we can try to identify the settlement and their type. So dear learners, this is all about the topographical map. Thank you.